I need him to enter that elite tier this year because I think he has it in him. I really do. As an offensive player,
Yeah.
I just think him at this point of his career, he's at a crossroads. He's at a crossroads. And are you going to remain a good player, make the All-Star team, make All-NBA second team, maybe even creep up All-NBA first team on a bad year? Or are you going to finally ascend to that elite tier, that elite category? My last topic, since we're talking about team, I'm curious who's under the most pressure as an NBA player entering the 2026 season?
Ooh, dang, that's a good question. Is it safe to say Joel Embiid?
Ooh, Joel Embiid. Wow.
Because like he was hurt pretty much all of last year, and
Okay.
people already been saying his MVP was fluke and all that. He was a here dang MVP, and he's coming back to a team. While they're not perfect, they still got some things they can, they can still make do a little bit of something. You got Tyrese Maxey, you got Jarrett McCain will be coming back off injury. Paul George, even though he's past his prime, well past his prime, he still should be able to,
Contribute.
be a solid contributor. Yeah, exactly. At this stage of his career, probably give you a solid 15 tonight. And B, you were MVP caliber player, so we need to see you get back to that level. So, and you getting paid a lot of money. I mean, I don't really care about pocket watch and all that, but from an organizational standpoint, you are getting paid a lot of money. 76ers have been out of the mix for a little bit. You got to get out there. You got to stay healthy, and you got to perform well. So yeah, I think Joel Embiid is probably the one with the most pressure that I could think of right now.
You make a interesting point. I don't think Joel Embiid has the most pressure because you say you don't care about the money portion. I think that plays a huge factor because
Well, I'm saying me personally, I don't care about the money. I know, but other people,
me personally, I think that plays a huge factor in terms of his level of security. There's two ways you can look at it. You can look at it from a perspective of if this player doesn't play well, they either won't get a good enough contract compared to the previous one they had. They won't be able to potentially make the league next year. But I think that's too drastic. I think that's too dramatic and drastic of a way of looking at it. I think I'm looking more towards like you have high expectations, and if you don't meet those high expectations, then that's a problem.
I'm gonna guess yours.
Yeah.
Before, let me know when you're ready to go. I'm gonna try to guess who.
Go right ahead. Go right ahead. Who
I have a feeling it's going to be like Ja or something.
Ja Morant? Nah, ain't Ja
Okay.
Morant. It ain't Ja Morant. I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. I'm gonna stay with the Cavs. I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. Here's why.
Mitchell, he shows up though. It's just like his team is always the one collapsing.
Here's why I'm going with Donovan Mitchell. You got to understand, there's obviously context behind why Donovan Mitchell can't make the conference finals, but there's this narrative out there about Donovan Mitchell, and it's the fact that as good as he is, as good as he's been in the past, for whatever reason, his teams just come up small. He's had number one seeded teams. He's been on teams that have won a lot of games, that have had home court advantage, and they get embarrassed in the playoffs, particularly in the second round. I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell and I'm like, yo, this is the perfect year to finally get your name in the pantheon of elite players. Because when I look at Donovan Mitchell, if you remember when he first came in the league, all I heard was, damn, he played like D Wade, which is a high bar. D Wade,
Yeah.
D Wade in his prime, D Wade was getting compared to Kobe. D Wade was a top 3 player. I remember First Take after the 2011 finals. By the way, go check out that video, by the way, of me reacting to it. They ranked D Wade as the best player in the world after the 2011 finals. That's how good D Wade was. I disagree with that. I think they were being a bit hyperbolic and a prisoner of the moment, but that's how good D Wade was. Like, D Wade was both sides of the ball. Like, he was a demon offensively. No 3-point shot. Could still average 30 a game. Still averaged 27 a game. Donovan Mitchell, he's had all these expectations, these comparisons. He's been on teams that have been great in the regular season, number one seeded Utah Jazz. I think they lost even without Kawhi Leonard. Like, even without Kawhi Leonard, they still lost to the Clippers. And then you have this previous season where, albeit they were hurt for a lot of the series, but they still brought guys back and they still lost. I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell and I'm saying to myself, like, yo, this is the year. If you're not going to do it this year, I don't believe you'll ever be able to do it. You have to break through. You have to get over the hump. Because I look at his talent, I look at his scoring ability, and I think Donovan Mitchell can enter that elite category. He has that potential. He's shown a level of elite play against some of the top elite players in this league. He went toe-to-toe against some of the elite players in this league. He just doesn't do it on a consistent basis. I need him to enter that elite tier this year because I think he has it in him. I really do. As an offensive player.
Yeah.
I just think him at this point of his career, he's at a crossroads. And are you going to remain a good player, make the All-Star team, make All-NBA second team, maybe even creep up All-NBA first team on a bad year? Or are you going to finally ascend to that elite tier, that elite category that your talent has shown sparks of, has shown glimpses of? I think this is the perfect year for Donovan Mitchell to do that. Just like with Tyrese Halliburton last year, even though I'm not saying he was elite, but I'm saying he got his name. Finally, people are seeing like, oh, yeah, this dude can play. This dude can hoop. And he had so many moments in the playoffs. I think this year, Donovan Mitchell has to do something similar where he has to create moments. He has to just deliver again and again and again in the playoffs and finally put to bed the narrative that Donovan Mitchell is just a good player, that he can't be the best player on a championship team, because I think he has the talent to do it. We just haven't seen it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, actually, yeah, I like that Donovan Mitchell pick because he's been teetering that line of you can win as the number one option versus you can't. Like, he's literally really on that edge, and I do think he's good enough to where you can win because it's not like he falters in the playoffs. Like, literally, he's literally one of the best playoff risers in the league. Like, when has there been a series where Donovan Mitchell hasn't performed well in the playoffs that I can really remember? But he just has to, like, certain factors just have been preventing him from getting over that hump. And like you said, like the previous segment, the Cavs are in a perfect opportunity to really get to that championship appearance. Play in the finals. It's going to be a tough matchup because whoever coming out the West, they're going to be like that because the West is a bloodbath. But yeah, man, this really is the okay. So if he were to win MVP, would that accomplish would he be free of that, or he has to make like the finals or conference finals or something like that?
I think it's all a culmination. I think he needs to make the finals. I think he needs to play great this year, and I think he needs to make the finals. I think that's the expectation that everybody should have for Donovan Mitchell this year. I don't think he doesn't need to be the MVP, but I think he does need to raise his level to an elite level, because as we see now, Jason Tatum injured now, that fifth spot, the top 5 players in the NBA, that fifth spot is up for grabs. From 5 to 12, any one of those guys can be the 5th best player in the NBA. It's up for grabs. And I think Donovan Mitchell, he has the talent. He has the scoring ability. He can play make as well. I think Donovan Mitchell, there's no excuse. There's no way Anthony Edwards should be considered better than you. I think you should be better than Anthony Edwards. But at this moment, I think Anthony Edwards, because of his defensive capabilities, you could argue is better than Donovan Mitchell. But I look at Donovan Mitchell scoring, the different ways he's able to score, his ability to get to the basket at a consistent basis. I think he's just a better overall scorer than Anthony Edwards. And then I also think that Donovan Mitchell, him and Jalen Brunson are getting compared as well. I think that shouldn't be the case. I think Donovan Mitchell, he should make an point of emphasis that, no, I'm better than Jalen Brunson. Jalen Brunson is a dog, but I'm better than Jalen Brunson. So that's the whole thing this season is, will Donovan Mitchell finally separate himself from the Anthony Edwards, from the Jalen Brunsons, from even Stephen Curry or some other guys? Will he finally get into the conversation of a Shea, Giannis, Jokic? Like, will he finally get in those conversations, or is he gonna just remain in the Jalen Brunson tier? You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, he's a star, but you can't win a championship with him as your best players. You know?
I have to agree. Donovan Mitchell definitely is next in line to take that leap.
All right. Well,
not even leap, just like finally have stuff go his way, you know?
Yeah. It's perfect year for him.